the Highlands, Light FM, talking in your sleep. Nothing wrong with that. The only time I make any sense. There's the Romantics. Someone said the Romantics are like the Beatles meets AC/DC. Could be, I suppose. It's 8:41 now. Let's take a ride to downtown Sebring to Statler Financial Services. But wait, I have to push a button first. I think Dave said it was this one.
Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation.
Okay. That's it. Hey, I do like the Pink Floyd cash register effect there, Philip. Hey,
man.
How are you?
All right, man. Long time no speak. A little switcheroo on me this morning, huh?
I know the presto changeo thing this morning, Phil. Yeah, Dave had some important stuff to take care of downtown, so he asked me to come in and get our dear friend Philip Statler on the air, which of course I'm thrilled to do. So, how you been?
I'm doing well, and let's just kind of look to see. The question is, how are the markets doing, right? That's the key as we kind of look at what happened yesterday. And in the world of yesterday, it looks like we had mostly green ink. The only thing that looked like it was a little off was the Russell 2000. It was down about almost 0.5%. But other than that, everything else, we did have some green ink, like the likes of, the Dow Jones was barely green, but hey, we'll take any green we can get, right? So
sure.
Dow Jones was up a whopping 0.09% or $46. So, but it was still positive, 51,078. Who would have ever thought we'd cross over 51,000 on the Dow? S&P 500 up a little over 1/4 point, closed at 7,500, and well, let's just call it 7,600, rounded up. So crossed over there. NASDAQ up a little over 0.4%, closed at $27,086. So a nice green tint yesterday. I'm just not sure we're going to get to follow through with that today. It's looking, it's looking a little red this morning before we get going. I was looking to see on the economic side if we had any economic numbers come out for today, but really nothing today. The jobs opening number, the JOLTS report comes out about 10 o'clock this morning. Expectation is for 6.9 million job openings, the same as it was last month. And let's remember back, I don't know if you remember, but way back, probably 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, that number was like 11 million. So the job openings have shrunk over the last few years. Looking forward. Yesterday, we did have a number that came out after Dave got off the air, and that's the construction spending number. That's important when we look at how construction is going to do. It came in 0.4% increase in construction spending, better than the 0.2 it was in March, and better than the expectation of 0.3% as well. So some good news there. That's really about the only thing that came out yesterday. I'm looking ahead to the rest of this week. It is June, so we do have the ADP report comes out tomorrow. And the expectation is for 110,000 new jobs opening up. We'll see how that fares out. And then, that's really about all we got tomorrow morning. Well, the Vage book comes out tomorrow afternoon. That'll be interesting to see as well. And then Friday, the jobs report will come out from the U.S. Employment Agency. Will let us know what the employment looks like on their record book and what the unemployment rate is. So got a few things to look at this week as it is the first week of June. It's hard for me to say that, man. It's just unreal
right
that
there with you, buddy.
It's already that point. So looking at some tidbits, here's a big tidbit. NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang come out and yesterday said that Marvel Technology is going to be the next $1 trillion company. Now, it's nice if somebody says something about you and all of a sudden you get this huge increase in value.
Uh,
Um, just on his speaking, those words, we saw Marvel Technology jump over 22%. It's not quite there now. It's still up right now, 18 and a third percent, just on his words that's what it's going to be. Now, don't forget that NVIDIA has recently invested $2 billion into Marvel Technology,
oh,
along with
okay.
some other firms
Yeah.
that are designing this phototechnic technology. So I found that kind of interesting this morning as
Sure.
we
Yeah.
kind of look at where we are. So that's kind of good news there. I was looking at the earnings report. There's a little here, a little there, not much in the firms that we know and see in a household basis. But some other little tidbits. We did see Alphabet. That's the parent of Google company. They made an announcement. They plan to sell $80 billion in stock. 10 billion of that's going to Berkshire Hathaway. They made that announcement yesterday as well. But that's got the shares of Alphabet going down 2.8% this morning, um, down actually 3% now, mostly because of dilution, right? People are going to get diluted. Their shares aren't going to be worth as much because they're selling more stock. So, um, a little tidbit there.
Okay.
Looking at earnings, Victoria's Secret reported their earnings overnight. They beat by 100%. They're expected to make about 30 cents a share. They made 60 cents a share.
Wow.
Revenue, yeah, big jump there. Revenue slightly ahead of expectations. More of the big news for them is they raised their full year guidance. Um, Expectation was for revenue to be between 6.85 and 6.95 billion dollars in revenue. They raised that number to 7 billion to 7.13 billion. So a little bit of an increase there in what their expectations are. And so if you thought Marvel Technologies increase was big, that's got Victoria's Secret up almost $20 this morning, which is an increase of 36.6% right now.
Wow. Lingerie and high tech. You gotta
Is
love
right,
that,
man.
Tom. Oh,
What a
baby.
combination, right? Um, so some good news there. I'm trying to look. It's really the beginning now or really we're at the tail end of earnings season right now, this last month of the quarter. So not much else really coming out this morning. I was trying to see if there's really anything else from the tidbits category, but I think I hit most of them. I did look at interest rates this morning because they had been trending up over 5% on the 30 year. We do have the 30 year now back below 5% at 4.95%. So maybe that will give some help to the mortgage industry. Looking ahead, the 10-year Treasury down below 4.5 at 4.44 right now. So interest rates seem to be trending down. It will be interesting to see what the beige book says tomorrow from the Fed when we get a look at that tomorrow. So let's
Okay.
look at kind of where we are now, where we look to open up the morning. Like I said earlier, it looks like we've got a tinge of red this morning. Right now, the Dow is down 0.5%. The S&P 500 is down 16/100ths of a percent. That's almost $12. And the NASDAQ 100 is down $14.50. So some red ink to start the day. Looking ahead, silver is actually up 1.85%. That's $76 an ounce right now. Gold up 95 basis points, almost 1%, trading at $4,549 an ounce. Looking at crude oil, down 1%, but still well above where it was closing on Friday and yesterday. Is at $91.24 a barrel right now. Would like it to come back down. I did see, went to pick up my daughter and granddaughter yesterday over in Sarasota, and actually saw gas below $3.70 a gallon. That really kind of shocked me over there. I wish some of that would move
Wow.
this direction. Yeah.
I knew it'd come down some. I hadn't seen it that low.
I had
Yeah,
not
Philip,
here.
I
Go
got
ahead.
to ask you though, Philip. Okay, so the markets are doing great, doing very well lately, and yet we've got this geopolitical concern in the Middle East. We have the Straits of Hormuz being held hostage by these individuals. Gas is $4 a gallon. How can the markets be doing so well right now? It seems like it wouldn't be so good. But tell me
That's
about that.
a good question. A good
Uh-huh.
question. Who knows, right? What's really
Yeah.
driving? I think it is the anticipation that the Strait of Hormuz is going to open
Yeah.
and oil prices are going to go down. I think that's the indication. Now, however, I was reading this morning. It looks like they're throwing bombs around again. So, and Iran
Oh,
said
mercy.
we're going to block everything again, which would maybe cause the red ink this morning. But it's just been volatile, right? Depends on what happens over there as to what effect we have on the markets. And so far,
Yeah.
every time there's a little bit of optimism, the markets go up. Whether
Yeah.
that's going to stay or not, that's another story.
Yeah. See, the thing is too, I was thought we were like energy independent now. That I didn't think we would be so sensitive to this Middle Eastern situation anymore. But I guess that's still the case.
Well, the case is this is that it's still an open market, right? And
Yeah.
so oil prices are set by that market. And even though we could fund our own oil production, we could create our own gas, our fuel, all that stuff, everything's still pegged to the open market. And that open
Right.
market, oil prices are going up. So that's
Gotcha. Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. All
So
right.
yeah. So let's look ahead at the European markets as we get ready to close out this morning. They are all in the green, anywhere from 0.1% to 0.5%. Actually, the FTSE MIB is actually up almost 1% this morning. We look at Asia. Asia's kind of split this morning. We got the Nikkei is actually down about 0.33%, with the Hang Seng up about 2.5. So, and Shanghai is up about 0.5%. So, everything's going crazy there. Looking at crypto's heading down this morning. Bitcoin has been falling the last few days, down to $69,002. That's down about 3.5% this morning before we get traded. Remember that the markets going up and down may not be exactly how you're invested. A lot of folks always call, hey, look, I'm concerned about my portfolio. Well, your portfolio may not match up exactly with what's happening with the indexes. Remember that. You have to actually look at where you are and what you're doing. But having a plan in place gives you some confidence. Give us a call at 863-382-0037. We'd love to spend a half hour with you to see if you're on the right path to the retirement you always dreamed of. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
All right. Hey, Philip, always enjoyed talking to you, my friend, and all the best to you and your family, okay?
All right, buddy. Take care. Talk to you soon.
We'll see you another time. There's Philip Statler, Statler Financial Services.
Folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Hey, as we start off this month of June, stay tuned. Follow along. See where we are. Love to see you here. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye now.